Did you know Star Wars' Return of the Jedi originally had a different storyline, but it was changed at the last minute? The movie's original storyline was much darker than what was eventually released. Even the movie title was different. Why was the original storyline abandoned? Was it too dark for the movie trilogy? So, what changed? During the filming of Return of the Jedi, many significant changes happened. Initially, the movie was named Revenge of the Jedi. But George Lucas, the creator of Star Wars, changed the title 2 months before the film hit theaters in 1983. This last-minute switch came at a cost, though. Lucas had already put out a bunch of work, posters, and movie trailers titled Revenge of the Jedi. Changing everything to Return of the Jedi meant spending money and redoing a lot of work, but Lucas felt the new title made more sense with the movie's spirit and saga surrounding it. When the title changed, many rumors regarding the sudden switch flew around. Some people thought Lucas and his team deliberately misled everyone to throw off counterfeiters making fake merchandise. Others believed the change was to avoid confusion with Star Trek II, initially called The Vengeance of Khan, before its title was also changed. However, the real reason was that George Lucas decided that revenge didn't suit the Jedi, who were known for their moral integrity and peaceful ways. He famously points out that seeking revenge is more synonymous with the Sith, who are enemies of the Jedi. So, changing the title to Return of the Jedi better represented the values and actions of the heroes in the story. But that's not the only reason the movie's original plot changed. There were also multiple issues behind the scenes. Irvine Kershner, the creative genius behind the first 2 Star Wars films, refused to direct Revenge of the Jedi. Since Irvine Kershner and the renowned cinematographer Peter Suschitzky declined to return for the 3rd film. Their absence caused some visual differences fans noticed in the movie. For example, we could have seen more Wookiees instead of Ewoks. Initially, the planet Endor in Star Wars was supposed to be filled with Wookiees, not Ewoks. The initial idea was for the Ewoks to resemble Wookiees, who are tall and imposing. However, finding actors tall enough to play these characters proved to be a big challenge, creating the much smaller and different-looking Ewoks. That means that even the epic Battle of Endor, featured in Star Wars, was initially set to take place in Kashyyyk, the homeland of the Wookiees. But, as you might have guessed, that idea was switched up before it made it to the screen. The decision to feature Ewoks instead of Wookiees wasn't just about actor heights, but also about creating toys that would appeal to children. These toys didn't need to be as big as the movie characters. If the movie had been made in recent times, George Lucas could have used advanced CGI to create any character he wanted without these limitations. But back then, technology and practical concerns led to the introduction of Ewoks. So instead of a few tall Wookiees, we ended up with hundreds of adorable, toy-friendly Ewoks in the film. Speaking about numbers, the original plan was to have 2 Death Stars. In the 1983 movie Return of the Jedi, we got to see a new, larger Death Star being built. This second Death Star was supposed to be way stronger than the first one. However, the Rebel Alliance managed to destroy it before it was finished. Interestingly, the original plan for the movie was even more dramatic, featuring not just 1, but 2 Death Stars. The Death Star is a massive space station and superweapon used by the Galactic Empire, capable of wiping out whole planets. Imagine the chaos with 2 of them. But the filmmakers decided to drop the idea because it seemed like just a repeat of what happened in the previous movies. We are only left with imaginations of what could have been. We could also have seen the resurrection of Yoda and Kenobi. In one exciting version of the story, Obi-Wan, Kenobi, and Yoda return from the dead to help in the epic battle against Emperor Palpatine. During a tense showdown, Luke faces off against Darth Vader and the Wicked Emperor. In this twist, Obi-Wan returns from beyond the grave, thanks to the combined strength and determination of Yoda and Luke. Obi-Wan jumps into the fight right alongside Luke in the real world. Meanwhile, Yoda uses his powers from another dimension to block the dangerous force of lightning that the Emperor throws at them. Together, they form an unstoppable team, trying to take down the dark side. In this thrilling version of the story, the ending has everything you'd hope for in a heroic battle. Emperor Palpatine is finally beaten, and Darth Vader, seeing the error of his ways, switches back to the good side just before he dies. The Empire crumbles with the bad guys defeated, and the Rebel Alliance comes out on top, celebrating their massive win. However, some believe this could not have been possible, because they'd be returning as Force ghosts. Even though these cool ideas didn't make it into the final movie of the first trilogy, The Last Jedi proved that bringing back characters as Force ghosts was a possibility and a great idea that could have added an extra layer of excitement to the story. Want a more exciting story? We could have seen Luke out on a quest. In the story's original ending, Luke Skywalker is the lone hero in the movie. He walks away, tired but brave, rather than joining a big celebration on Endor. Producer Gary Kurtz shared another twist where Luke and Darth Vader would have traveled to the galaxy's farthest reaches to fix past mistakes. This version would also have had them searching for Luke's sister, adding to the adventure. Interestingly, Leia would not be Luke's sister in this early plan. That whole sibling plot was not part of the original storyline. So the story could have taken a very different turn. Between 1976 and 1983, all the official books and sources showed Luke as 20 years old and Princess Leia as just 16. If so, how could they possibly be twins with that age difference? Just picture the surprise everyone would have felt. It's like one of those big movie twists that gasps the audience. Another twist that could have happened in the movie is Luke Skywalker becoming dark. According to discussions between Lucas and his co-writer Lawrence Kasdan, Luke Skywalker was almost given a grim twist. Lucas pictured a scene where, after Vader's death, Luke would put on Vader's helmet and take up his mantle, turning against the rebels he once fought alongside. Kasdan was on board with this idea, but they changed it, realizing it might be too intense and could put off their younger fans. This change kept the focus on hope and redemption, rather than a descent into darkness. You would think Luke Skywalker becoming dark could have been an insane twist, but wait till you found that the movie's original storyline had a different fate for Han. Han Solo is easily one of the most unforgettable characters in Star Wars films. He quickly became a fan favorite with his rogue charm and quick wit. That's why viewers were so stunned in Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens, when Han was tragically killed by his son, Kylo Ren. But in the original ending planned for Return of the Jedi, Han Solo wouldn't have made it beyond the movie. In that scenario, after being rescued from Jabba the Hutt's clutches, Han would have met his end during a daring raid on an Imperial base, not surviving to see the victory celebrations. This twist would have added a sober note to the film, showing that even heroes can fall at any moment in the struggle between good and evil. Surprisingly, Harrison Ford, the actor behind Han Solo, believed his character should have died early on, perhaps during a raid on an Imperial base. Screenwriter Lawrence Kasdan agreed, thinking that Han's death would heighten the stakes for the other characters in the story. The idea of him dying, particularly in a battle against those cuddly Ewoks, would have marked a decisive end to his journey, showing just how much he had changed. However, George Lucas rejected the idea of Han dying during the Ewok fight because he was concerned it might hurt the sales of Star Wars toys. "He didn't want me killed by those teddy bear guys," Harrison Ford humorously remarked about his potential end. Lucas's decision was influenced by more than just the storyline. It was about keeping the Star Wars universe friendly and appealing to all, especially the younger fans who adored the characters and their corresponding action figures. While most Star Wars fans were likely relieved to see Han Solo survive Return of the Jedi without a scratch, Harrison Ford's idea for his character wasn't without merit. If Han Solo had sacrificed his life for his friends and a greater cause, his character arc would have been a profound conclusion, showing his evolution from a self-serving smuggler to a true hero. Today, the original storyline of Revenge of the Jedi is still a missed opportunity and a story never told. Do you think it would be told someday? Let us know your thoughts in the comment sections below. Also, hit the like and subscribe buttons to get updated on more exciting content from us.